Hey y'all. Okay. Welcome to Dating with Dom. Yeah, that's me. Okay. Today's topic on Let's Talk About It is when should you move in and when should you join finance? Okay. Now I'm gonna warn y'all that I failed at this and like totally failed. But I think I got it now. But I want to talk about it because so many other people have issues with this. Don't judge. First, I think there's only like three type of people you can date. There's the person that ain't got shit. There's the person that you're equally yoked to. You have a little something, they have a little something, whether it be, y'all both have furniture, y'all both bringing about the same amount of money to the table. And then there's the person that makes a lot more money than you. And their social class might just be a little bit more than you. Does that make them better than you? Fuck no. But they just might have it together. Now, let's say, how does this go into when do you move together? Now, obviously, the person that ain't got shit, I've been that person. You gonna obviously move in with the person that got something because you ain't got shit. Like, I have brought to a relationship a cell phone and an Optima before. There is the person who's equally yoked. This is everybody's dream to find somebody that brings to the table just what they bring to the table. The problem is, when two people realize that they don't need each other, it's very hard to combine together because you're comfortable and not needing anybody. This is the problem. And now we go into, if we doing what everybody says on the internet, which is basically we all dating with a purpose. I don't know if they put this up on a bathroom wall, but every man I done met in the last 3 years is dating with a purpose. I don't know if the purpose is to fuck up people's life. I don't know what it is. But they all dating with a purpose and they all claim it's marriage. But if we're really doing that, right? And you know by like month 6 that this ain't the one. You just like, it's not gonna work, right? We never let it go right then and there. We some of us try to ease out of it, but we never really let it go, right? So if you decide this is the one, this is the one for me, do you move in? If you have children, like me, this is the hardest decision ever. You've been dating for 6 months to a year. I have a little girl. I don't trust anybody with my little girl. Like, you like, should I date this person for 2 to 3 years before I move in with them? Because let me tell you something. I am not going to ever marry somebody I have not lived with, because you find out so much about people when you move in with them. People can hide themselves until you're in the same house. Now you see them. So what should you do? Should you just go on this timeline that you're supposed to do? Should you date somebody for like a year? Should you date somebody for 3 to 6 months? Should you, when do you say, okay, if we build in the future together, should we get like a joint savings account? When do you do this? Like, this is a problem in like most relationships. Because I failed at it. I've dated somebody for like years, off and on, and then it got to the point, because we were equally yoked, that he was like, well, his lease was up, I had my own house, and he was like, let's move together. And I was like, great, sure. And I owned my own house since I was like 24, so this made it even worse. So he was like, he stayed in a 2-bedroom apartment and he had 2 children. I had 1 child. So he was like, well, we can get a 3-bedroom apartment. And I was like, well, what are you gonna do when your daughter comes over? He's like, they can share a room. I was like, oh no, you want my child to leave her room to go share a room? Ain't gonna work. Then there's the, oh my God, I'm so in love. You move in together. You then decided like, this is, this is it. We're gonna do it. It's time. Now you're living together, but you're not building together. It's like they got their bills, you got your bills, and ain't nobody planning nothing. Ain't nobody doing nothing. I done did this. That was, it's when you really realize like this person is either really good at money or really bad at money. And I'm wondering, like, what do other people think? Like, let's talk about it. Like, what's the correct timeline? Like, is it really a year? Like, is it really 2 years? When do you give up your space? Because honestly, to move in with somebody, if you have anything, somebody's gonna be uncomfortable. Somebody have to take a lick. Somebody got to get rid of their sofa or put it in a storage. Somebody, it's just gonna be a mess. Okay, the last person I stayed with, this was an equally yoked person. this was a disaster because of simple stuff. Like, he was like, I'm not taking your bed because you've been in for 10 years on your bed. I'm like, it was like 7. And I was like, I don't want your sofa, because he didn't have every and then mama all up on